Hello.
Hello, sir. Good
Hi,
morning.
Kirtana. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great, Kirtana. Thanks for asking. So, how are things going on?
It's fine, sir.
Okay. So, did you have a chance to review the recordings?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So, do you have any questions?
No, sir. Things are clear.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. So, I'm waiting for Siddharth to join. Okay. Let him join and we'll start.
Okay.
Hello. Hi, Siddharth.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Siddharth. How are you doing?
Sir, I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great as well. Thanks for asking, Siddharth. Okay. So, did you review the recordings? Like,
Sir,
do you
I
have any?
I I reviewed the recordings from uh, from recordings 2 and 3, that is from last week. But on Tuesday's recording, I didn't receive yet. So
Okay.
uh,
So I
uh,
think I have sent it out, right? So Kirtana, you received it, correct? You're on mute.
I did receive it.
Okay. So Siddharth, go back and check your email. Okay,
sir,
you should have it.
here I've only received recordings day 2, day 3, sir. Day 4, I haven't received yet.
Second week I have not sent. Okay, so I have just
Okay,
sent the first week's recording. So I will send it all together. Okay, so week one I will send it all together. Week two I will send it all together. Okay, so
okay,
I'm
sir.
just waiting this week to get over. So tomorrow is the last class in the week two, correct? So
Hmm.
tomorrow evening or Monday morning, I will send you the week two's recording.
Okay, sir.
Okay, batch by batch, I will send you. Okay, so you'll not have any confusions. Okay, I think we can start the session today. I'm sharing my screen. I hope you are able to see my screen, Siddharth and Kirtana.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So in the last class, we spoke about data collection, correct? So any machine learning implementation will start with data collection. Okay. So what is data collection? Data collection is the process of gathering information that AI will learn from. Okay. So as I already told you, data is the foundation. Data is the foundation for all the machine learning models. Okay. Without data, nothing can happen. Okay. The models will not be able to learn anything. Okay. So you'll have to set up the data first. Okay. So if you have to set up the data first, you'll have to collect the data. Okay. So let's take the example of the students' data collection. Okay. So let's say that you're trying to teach a machine on students' marks dataset. Okay, when you say students' marks dataset, so this dataset will contain the marks obtained by these students in their final examinations, class test, or whatever. Okay, so the machine can be trained on these informations, and each and every student's pass or fail status can be understood by the model. Okay, so if that is the case, we need to collect data of each and every student. Now, how do you collect the students' marks? Okay, so let's say like the teacher has recorded all these informations in an Excel file or a CSV file. Okay, that is fine. If you want to work on all these students' data set, then she or he can send the information and you can use it for uh, training the model. Okay, and the model gets trained and it understands the pass or fail status of each and every student. Now, let's say like if the teacher has recorded all the information in a register or a notebook or something, then digitally she'll not be able to send you the files. Okay, I don't know like how he or she is going to communicate all the students' information. If that is the case, then your teacher may not help you much. Okay, so then you will have to reach out to each and every student and gain the information or obtain the information. Okay, so how you will do it? Maybe like you can create a Google form. Okay, you can ask for informations that you require. Okay, so let's say like you want information like student's name, email address, phone number, okay, and marks secured in class tests, examinations, like final examinations, quarterly examination, all these things. Okay, ultimately, the pass or fail status can be determined by you, okay, based on the analysis that you do. Now you'll have to go and collect all this information through Google Forms. Okay, that is one way. Or you can contact each and every student through email and ask them to send all the information that you want. Okay, that is the second way of collecting information. Third, you can call them and you can ask them all the required details. Or maybe like you can send an WhatsApp text saying that these are the informations that I require and I want you to give me all these details. Okay, they will respond back saying that this is what is the requested information and you will use it. Okay, so all these are some kind of data collection strategies. Okay, you collect data which you will use for the model to learn. Okay, so this is the first step in any machine learning implementation or AI implementation. Okay, so you should have data. Okay, so once you have data, then there are further steps. Okay, example, taking photos. If you are training a model on male and female data set, or let's say like apple, orange, okay, or any fruits data set, then you will have to have different pictures of each and every fruit. Okay, for example, there are different varieties of apple, there are different varieties of orange. So if you have to make the machine learn about apples, then you'll have to show the machine different images of apples and oranges. Okay, so if that is the case, then what you can do, you can take photographs of different varieties of apples and oranges and you can show the machine these photographs. So from the photographs, the machine will be able to understand each of the variety of apples and oranges. So if it can understand each and every variety of apples and oranges, so in future, if you show a different variety or the same variety of fruit and ask it to identify what is the fruit, then it can identify what is the fruit. Okay, so this comes to fore in a real world application. Okay, so we already saw the example of farmers, okay, where they can use this particular model that you trained on fruits dataset, and how you collect different fruits into separate baskets. Okay, and ultimately you go and sell them in the market. Okay, so if that is the objective, that is the criteria, then you should have something trained on. Okay, so that is where your AI comes into picture, right? So if you have to do that, first you'll have to collect all the photographs of apples and oranges and other fruits. Okay, asking questions, yes. So I already told you, survey, you go and survey them. So example, through Google Forms or through WhatsApp text, or just not WhatsApp text. Okay, so you can have a documentation, you can have a Word file, or you can have an Excel file, okay, which you send across different people. Okay, so ask them to fill this Excel sheet. Okay, so which will give you all the related information or all the information that you require. Okay, recording clicks. Let's say like you have a website and you want to understand who are the users who are visiting your websites. Okay, if that is the requirement, then you set up a backend database which will collect all the user information. That means from where they are logging in. Okay, that means their location, geographical location. Okay, so you will get the coordinates, latitude, longitude, all this information. Okay, their IP address. Okay, so there are different things that you can collect, like how many times they visit your website, or what pages within your website they visit. Okay, see, all these things can be collected. Okay, how many clicks are made on a particular, let's say like you have content or you have some kind of user interface like chats or some other thing. Okay, so they might click each and every graph that you have presented in your website, and they want some information to be collected from these interfaces. Okay, if that is the case, they will click on that particular sorry, particular charts or whatever multiple times, and they will gather information that is required for them, right? So you are going to record all these things. Okay, this is some way of collecting data. Okay, so all these things that they do within the particular website will be recorded in the backend database. Okay, so this is some kind of data collection. Okay, so now the question is where the data comes from. Okay, data can come from any physical systems, right? So already you might have data. Okay, you just need to transfer from that particular data system into your system. Okay, as I already told you, your teacher might have all this information collected in a database or an Excel file. Okay, so if you request her the Excel file that she has, she can send it across, and you have the Excel file and you can typically use that. Okay, so from their system, it is coming to your system. Now you are the one who require that particular information, which maybe like you can feed it into a database, and the database stores all your information. Okay, so the information or data can come from different sources. Okay, so everything that you collect, okay, is going to be used for your training the model. Okay, so types of data collection: manual data collection, where we collect data manually. Okay, through survey forms, right? So we send survey forms to all the people from whom we want the information. Okay, Writing marks in a notebook, yes. So your teacher does that, right? So each and every student writes the examinations or class tests, and the teacher evaluates their examination papers or notebooks, okay, where they have written the examination or class test, and she fills up, like let's say like she has a template within this notebook, and she fills this template with whatever marks the students have scored in the class test or the examination. Okay, so that is one way of manually collecting the data. Counting attendance. Okay, so if you want how many people have attended the uh, let's say like today's class, okay, the teacher might count the attendance, okay, and record it somewhere. Okay, so this is some way of collecting attendance the human way, okay, where you are putting some effort. The machine does not do the data collection all by itself. Okay, the second way is automatically collecting the data. Okay, so the example which we saw, like recording the clicks when somebody visits the website, okay, your system is collecting all the data in the backend. You are not doing, okay, so you are not going and asking each and every user like where they are coming from. That typically cannot be done, right? So you don't know who are the users who are coming to your website. Okay, so all this can be done only by the machine or the system. Okay, so it is understanding from which particular IP the request is coming. Okay, so it records that particular IP, from which location the request comes from. All these things the machine is trying to collect. Okay, so the data collection here is automatic. Okay, manually we're not going and collecting things. Okay, example, Google tracking searches. Okay, okay, so you go and search in Google. Okay, so if you want some information, you go and search in Google. Example, let's say you're trying to understand about a particular topic. Okay, it could be any topic. You go and search in Google, and the Google gives you the information. Now all the information Google cal- Google can collect from you. Okay, what is the search you are trying to make? Okay, hold on one second. I'm getting a call. One second. Yeah, hello. Okay, so automatic data collection is nothing but the machine is collecting all the data required by itself. Okay, so you're not putting any um, effort. Okay, there is no human effort. Google tracking your searches. Okay, when you go and search in Google, Google is collecting all the information. What you're trying to search, how many times you're trying to search, all these things the uh, machine or the system can collect in their backend system. The same way YouTube collects your watch history. When you go and watch some kind of video, YouTube can understand what is that you're watching, based on which it can make suggestions. Okay, so these are some examples of automatic data collection. Okay, third is sensors. Sensors also do collect data. Okay, example, Fitbit watches. Okay, Apple watches, Apple iWatch. Okay, when you go and let's say like you exercise. Okay, exercise in the sense like you go out for a walk or a jog. So when you go out for a jog, you try to wear this Apple Watch, which will record the number of steps that you take. It will try to record your heart activity. Okay, how many times the heart is pumping in a minute. Okay, so all these things the sensor within the Apple Watch tries to collect from you. Okay, so this is one way of collecting data. Sensors collect data from you. GPS. Okay, GPS collects example when you go out in a car or in a bike. So you turn on the maps, right? So you don't know the route to your destination. If that is the case, you turn on the GPS within your mobile phone. Okay, the GPS takes you from your source to destination. This information also gets collected in the backend system. Okay, so if you use Google Maps, Google will collect all your information from where you're traveling, how many, like what is the length of time that you spend in traffic to get from your source to destination. All these things can be tracked and it can be recorded in the backend. Camera. Okay, camera, you take pictures using camera. So when you take pictures using camera, the camera also collects some information. When the photo was taken, okay, what is the size of the photograph? Where is the photo taken? All these things also can be recorded. Okay, so whatever data is recorded, whatever data is collected, that can be used for any kind of purposes. Okay, so you just go and do data analysis. Maybe like you're not using any AI, you just try to analyze the data. That can also be done. If you want to put AI in there and do the data analysis later, that also can be done. Okay, so if you want to collect data, you collect the human way, the manual way, the automatic way, and using sensors. Okay, sensors is also automatic way. Okay, so the sensors does the data collection for you. You're not doing anything. Okay, you just wear the iWatch, Apple Watch, and the Apple Watch collects all the information for you. GPS collects all the information. The camera takes a photograph. Behind it collects a lot of information. See, all these things are some way of collecting data, which you will use to train your model. Now there are problems with respect to collecting data. Okay, so you sometimes you might collect incomplete data. That means if you want to train a machine on students data set, you might want different informations to be collected, and you might miss out on some information that you may not collect. So if you may not, or if you don't collect all the information that is required for training your model, then the information is complete and the model cannot learn properly. Okay, so that happens with data collection. So whatever you're trying to collect, try to collect it in a complete way. Okay, second, bias data. So bias we already explored, we understood. The distribution of data should be equal. Okay, if the distribution is not equal, then the model will learn those examples which are more in number. Okay, for example, if you have 100 students and let's say like out of 100 students, 80 students pass the examination, 20 students fail the examination, then it understand the behavior of all the students who passed in the examinations. Now if you have to make the model understand the the pass and fail status of each and every student, then you will have to provide the machine with equal samples. Okay, if you don't do it, then there will be a bias in the system. That is unfair. Okay, so you should not have bias in the system. Make it balanced. Wrong data. Okay, so you cannot have wrong data. Instead of apple, you cannot say orange. It the characteristics of an apple, you cannot say that's an orange. So that's something you're teaching wrong to a machine. Okay, so whatever you provide, it should be accurate. All these things are issue with your data collection. Make sure that when you collect data, all these things are eliminated. Okay, you cannot have wrong data, you cannot have biased data, and you cannot have incomplete data. Okay, so now let's come to the data privacy part. So can you collect everything? No, you cannot collect everything. So when you're collecting information from students, personal data must be protected. Okay, so they will not expose their personal information like their phone number, their location, or their photographs. So if you are requesting for their photograph, somebody might give you the photograph, somebody may not give you the photograph. So there is always information that will be limited, okay, and it cannot be shared. So they will try to protect their information. Okay, so that is issue with data collection, privacy. So privacy will always come into picture when you collect data. So that is one restriction. Now we will see a demo on data collection. How do you collect data? Okay, what I will do, I will create one Google form. Okay, and I will let you know like how you collect the information. So if you want to create a Google form, okay, so just type docs.google.com/forms. Okay, so you will land on this particular interface. So if you see, there are several templates already available. Okay, if you are trying to apply for a job, the template already exists. If you want a leave request, if you want to send a leave request to your class teacher or your employee, then you have templates available. Okay, you don't have to start from this. You don't have to start from scratch and create the form. Okay, the template already exists. You can use them. Here, in our case, the template is not there. Okay, so we will have to create the form manually. This form, we will send it to different students, and the students will fill this form, submit this form, and in the backend, you will have the information collected. Okay, so I will create a form. Okay, so for that, what I will do, I will click on, okay, so 1 second. I will click on blank form. Okay, click on blank form. Close this. You have a form. Okay, so now we need to provide all the information. That means we'll have to have all the information that we are trying to collect from each and every student. So we need to give the form title first. Okay, so let's go and give a form title. So the form title is Student Learning and Study Habit Survey. Okay, so this is some kind of survey that you're trying to do. Okay, so click here. So initially it will be untitled. You give the form name. Okay, so your form has a name now. Okay, so email, I will give an email address. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, so email address will be collected by itself. You don't have to fill in. Okay, form description. If you want to give some description to the form, saying that what is this form all about, you can have the form description. Okay, that is fine. Now we need to put in all the questions. That means the information that we are trying to collect. Okay, so one by one we will put the question. Okay, so I have questions section by section. Okay, that means in each of the section my objective is different. In section 1 I will be collecting the student students basic details. Okay, in section 2 I'll be doing something else. So I have informations to be collected in sections. My section is section number 1 is collecting basic information. So let me create a section. If you see here onto your right side, it gives you different options. Okay, so if you want to add a question, you can add a question. If you want to import questions, okay, let's say like you have it already in a file, like let's say like Word file or something. If you want to import those questions instead of typing here, okay, it will import the questions from the Word file or whatever. Okay, so if you want to add title and description, you can add the title and description. If you want to import an image, you can do that. Okay, if you want to import a video, that is also possible. Okay, so now our objective is having the information section by section. Okay, let us add a section, new section. Okay, so section 1 already exists. Okay, whatever you see here, untitled question, that is section 1. Section 1 is by default. Okay, so I don't have to create the first section. The first section is already there. Okay, the only thing is I have to collect some of the information. I'll have to provide what information. I need to provide the information about which I need the details. Okay, first is student. Okay, I will say student name here. Okay, I can select the question type. Okay, so question type is short answer. Okay, that means the student has to answer. I will say short answer here. Okay, so you can make it optional or required. Okay, so when you click on required, so that means to say that the student has to enter this particular information mandatorily. Okay, if you don't check this, then the student name becomes optional. Okay, so student name cannot be optional, make it required. Okay, so this is one information that we are trying to collect. Then grade or class. Now add a question. Student name, then I want the grade or class. Again, this will be short answer. This also I will make it required. Okay, so this is section number 1. Okay, or okay, so I will make it short answer. Okay, I don't want a drop down. So drop down means like you can have only selected values. Okay, so instead of that, I will make it a short answer, meaning saying that the student will enter this information. Okay, instead of selecting the information from whatever you give them, they will have to answer. They'll have to enter this by themselves. Okay, that is the option I'm giving them. Okay, so this is section number 1. Section number 2. Okay, so here, okay, so section number 2 is study habits. I'm saying study habits to give a name to this section. Okay, then if you want to give the description, that means if you want to describe what is this section is all about, you can describe this section. Now let me try to add questions. I want average study hours per day. Okay, so question average study hours per day, and I want this to be multiple choice. Okay, I will say multiple choice, and I will have multiple answers here. Option 1, less than 1 hour. Okay, 1 to 2 hours. Then I will say 2 to 4 hours. Then I will say more than 4 hours. Okay. So this is the option that I am giving to the students. Okay. So this also I will make it required because I want this information compulsorily. Then the next one is preferred study time. This will also be multiple choice. I will say morning, then I'll say afternoon, then I'll say evening, then night. Okay, so this also I'll make it required. Next question. How often do you complete your homework? I add a question. Linear scale. I will select linear scale. So scale is 1 to 5. Okay. 1 means never. 5 means always. Okay, so that means within this scale they can rate. This is section number 2. Okay, I'm going to the next section. Section number 3, technology and usage. Okay. Section number 3, technology usage. Okay, that means I'm trying to understand what technology they use. Okay, so sorry, daily. First question within section 3 is daily screen time. Okay, I will add this question. Daily screen time, multiple choice. I will say less than 1 hour. One to 3 hours. Three to 5 hours. More than 5 hours. Okay. So I don't want this to be mandatory. Okay. This is your choice. I will leave it to you. Okay. Next question. What do you use the technology most for? Check boxes. I'll make it check boxes. I will say studying. Option 1, studying. Option 2, gaming. Option 3, social media. Option 4, watching videos. Option 5, coding, learning AI. Okay, so this I will make it mandatory. I'll say required. Then next question is, have you used AI tools before? Okay, this is multiple choice. I will say yes or no. Yes. Okay, I will say required. This is section number 3. Now let's go to section number 4, where I'm collecting details about their interests and learning. I'll add a section. I will say favorite subject. Sorry, 1 second. Interests and learning. That is the section name. Favorite subject, drop down. Okay. The drop down values are maths, okay, mathematics, science, English, social science, computer science. Okay. Next question. Interested in learning AI. Okay. This linear scale, 1 to 5. 1 is never. Sorry, 1 is not interested. 5 is very interested. Okay. This will be required. Next question. Preferred learning method. Check boxes. Videos, hands-on activities, reading, group discussion, and coding practice. Next, section 5. Fun prediction data. A question, average sleep hours. Multiple choice, less than 5 to 6 hours, 6 to 8, more than 8. Okay. Past exam percentage range. Multiple choice, below 50 percentage, 50 to 70 percentage, 70 to 85 percentage, above 85 percentage. Okay, so this is required. This also I'll say required. Okay. So I want these informations to be collected from each and every student. Okay. So if I have to send this across to all the students, first I'll have to make this public. Okay. I will say publish. So if I say publish, I will get a link which I can send across to different people. Okay. So I'm publishing this. Okay. So soon after publishing, you get a URL. Correct. So I will say shorten URL. Okay. I will copy this. Okay. So what I will do, I will put this in the chat box. Okay. You try to fill this. Okay. Both Siddharth and
Sir, could you just
Kirtana.
repeat what you just said? Like right
I'm
now.
going I'm going to send this form across to you and Kirtana.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So I will put the link in the chat box. Okay. So you should have the form link in your chat box. Please open this form and please fill this form. Okay, right. Do it immediately. Okay, so it will not take more than 5 minutes of your time. Do this immediately. Okay, so I want you to show how data is collected. Okay, meanwhile, I will also enter this information. Okay, so this form will have my details, your details, and Kirtana's details. Okay, is that clear?
Sir, I didn't get the link yet.
Can you check your chat box within your this thing?
Yeah, it's not here.
Okay, then I will share this. Okay, so okay, please check your email. Okay, can you check your email and let me know if you have received it? Did you receive it, both Kirtana and Siddharth?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
What about you, Siddharth?
Yes, sir. I am
Okay.
doing the completing the.
Yes, yes. Please fill up the form. Okay. So I did my part. Okay. I submitted my form.
So I also submitted.
Okay. What about you, Kirtana? Okay. So if you check the responses tab, okay, so I can see your responses. Hi, Kirtana. Hello, Kirtana. Can you hear me? Okay. No issues. Okay. So I can see the data collected. Okay. So I can view this in a CSV file. Okay. I will link this to Google Sheets. Okay. So I will create a new sheet. Okay. So if you can see the data is collected. Okay. So I asked for your email address, your name, grade, all these things, right? So I have all this information, which I can use to train my model. Okay. So this is one way of collecting your data. Okay. So what I will do, Siddharth and Kirtana, I will give you an exercise. Okay. I will exactly tell you what data you need to collect. Okay. So that is up to you how you collect. Okay. Either you collect through Google Form or WhatsApp text, or you manually email them, whatever it is. You call them, whatever it is. Okay. So I want some information. I will give you the scenario. Okay. So this is an exercise for you. Okay. So you should work on this. Okay. I don't know like when you will have some time to work on this. So please do that. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes,
Okay. Fine. So did you have an understanding like how data is collected
yes, sir.
through at least through survey forms? Okay. So like this, there
Yes,
are
sir.
different ways you can collect the data. Okay. So this is the first part of the exercise. Okay. So if you are building any AI model, any AI systems, right? So first is data collection. Okay. So you will only go for data collection if you don't have data. Okay. So if somebody can provide you the data, that means they have collected the data sets or information, and they can give you. You just go and utilize the information. Okay. If not, you'll have to go and do the data collection activity. Okay. So that is what it is. Okay. So now we have the data collection. Next, we will do the data pre-processing. But before that, we will jump on to the next topic called as Python. Okay. So I will start the coding part now. Okay. I have the responses of Kirtana as well. Okay. Kirtana 98 to 4 hours evening. Yes. Okay. Fine. Okay. So what you have to do is collect data of your choice. Okay. So maybe I can give you the problem. Okay. So I will give you the problem and you start the data collection. Okay, so once you have done the data collection, okay, so what you do, you get the, you also send me the, if you are planning to like create a Google form, you also send me the form. Okay, I will fill the form. Or like if you are trying to send a WhatsApp text or something, that is also fine. You send me a WhatsApp text. I will provide you all the required information. Okay, so whatever you're trying to do, I will respond back to you. Okay, either through email or WhatsApp or Google Forms, whatever it is. Okay, I will respond back. I will give you my details. Okay, so the activity is you collect data, okay, of your choice. Work on this. Okay, so I will let you know what is the problem. Next, we will come to the uh, we will come to this section called as Python. Okay, so what is Python from your point of view? So that, like, do you have any idea? Like, I think you have this in your curriculum, correct? So, any idea what is Python?
Sir, sir, it is it's a type of programming language like uh, uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's,
Okay,
yeah, it's type of programming language. Uh,
okay. So, what do you mean by a programming language?
Sir, it gives instructions to a system or computer.
Okay. Yes.
Um,
So, why do you have to write instructions?
uh, Sir, so then only like we give the correct instructions, we'll get the proper output.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Fine. Kirtana, what is your response? What do you think Python is?
It's it's like the language we use to communicate with the computers. Like if you want to get a one kind of task done, you like give the certain instructions which are needed to complete that specific task. And then since the Python cannot understand our normal human language, it's gonna need a language that it can understand. So like, it
Okay.
translates.
Okay. Exactly. Okay. So Python is, as you said, a programming language. Okay. It's not the natural language that we use. Okay. It is not like what do you say? We use different language for communication, correct? So English or Hindi, Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, all these things. Okay. So when you want to talk to somebody, okay, how do you talk? How do you speak to them? Okay? You use these languages. Okay. So you talk in your local language, regional language, or you talk to them in English. Okay. So when you talk to them, okay, basically you are establishing a communication. Okay. That means you have a request. Okay. And there will be a response from the other end. Okay. That means whoever or whomsoever you're talking to will respond back to your query. Okay, that means let's say like you go out and you're looking for a particular address. Okay, then you approach somebody. Okay, you ask them, where is this address? That means there is a request from you, and they try to respond back saying that this is where the address is. Okay, go to this. Go this way, and you will find your destination. Okay, that is the response. So if you want to talk to a computer, okay, if computer has to do something for you, okay, then you go and write instructions. Okay. So if you go and write instructions, the computer can act based on your instruction and it can act. Okay. That means You request the computer to do something and the computer responds back. Okay, that means you say add two numbers, or you say, or sorry, you instruct saying that I have two numbers for you. You add these two numbers and give me the result. Then it will do that particular task for you. Okay, so let's say you have to add two numbers, very big numbers, very large numbers, which is difficult for you. Or let's say you want to multiply two big numbers, which is difficult for you because you're not capable of multiplying large numbers. Okay, numbers typically in the order of, let's say, like 5 digits or 6 digits. Two 5 digit numbers have to be multiplied. If that task is given to you, then you're not capable of doing that. So if that is the case, you need some help, right? You go and ask computers. Computers have computational abilities. Okay, so they will take input from you. They will respond back with the answer saying that the multiplication of these two numbers is this. Okay, you will have the result. Okay, so that means if you want the task to be done by the machine, you cannot do. Okay, the machine will do for you. Okay, so these programming languages are some kind of automation. Okay, they are automation because you're not able to do that. Okay, so if you're not able to do that, then you go and seek help. Okay, and the computers come and help you. They do the task that you want to perform. Okay, so Python is one such language, one such programming language. Okay, so you use this to write instruction. Okay, you use this to write programs. That is why it is called as a programming language or an instructional language. Okay, they don't call it as instructional language, but it is an instructional language which you use to write instructions or write programs. So now the machine will act based on these programs that you write. Okay, and they can do the tasks whatever you want it to perform. Okay, so that is exactly Python. Now Python can be used anywhere. Okay, Python can be used to build websites. Python can be used to build applications. Okay, for example, if you want to build a calculator application, then go and use Python. You just need to write instructions on how to add numbers, how to subtract numbers. Okay, so there are n number of functionalities within a calculator, right? So you'll have to write each and every instruction saying that this is how you write, this is how you add two numbers. You take input A, you take input B, you take input C, okay, and add these together and give the result. Okay, that is for addition. If you want to subtract two numbers, then take two numbers, get the input from the user, then subtract these two numbers, give the result. That is instruction. Okay, so likewise for different different things you write different instructions. Altogether you have a lot of functionality integrated together into one single application. Okay, that is your calculator application. So if you want to build a calculator application, you can use. If you want to build a website, write instructions saying that this is the content I need to have within my website. Yes, you can do. How the content has to look, whether it has to have a background or it has to have some visuals. Okay, whether there needs to be some kind of images or videos present in the web page. Okay, all everything can be designed by you. Okay, so that is through instructions, that is through programs, that is through a request and a response. There Python comes to play. Okay, now why do you use Python for AI? Okay, why cannot I use different Python programming language that is available in the industry? Okay, yes, I can definitely use the other programming languages in the industry. Okay, but Python has some advantages over the other programming languages. Okay, like Python is very simple to understand. Okay, It uses English like syntaxes. Okay, so when you write instructions in Python, it can be easily understood and you can interpret it. Okay, so it is not going to use machine codes which you don't understand. It is like English language. Okay, so it is very simple to understand. It is very powerful. Okay, when you say it is powerful, it has lot of inbuilt functionalities. Okay, so if you want to add two numbers, then you don't have to write extensive code or an extensive program saying that this is how you do addition. It has already inbuilt addition functionalities. It has already subtraction functionalities. Okay, something which people have already done for you. You just need to use them. Okay, that is not the only thing. It has got lot of instructions. Okay, which makes it powerful when compared to other programming languages like Java, C, C++, because they have limited functionalities. Okay, when they have limited functionalities, they do limited job for you. Okay, they cannot accomplish all the tasks that you want them to accomplish. That cannot happen. But with Python, you have different functionalities, different libraries which you can make use, and you can get your task done. Okay, so in that respect, Python is very powerful. Okay, and it is used everywhere because of these reasons. Okay, it is very simple. Anybody who wants to write instructions and make a machine perform some tasks that you perform, they can use Python and achieve that particular objective. Okay, it is that simple. Okay, it is powerful because it has a lot of functionalities, meaning it can accomplish a varied set of tasks. Okay, that is why it is used everywhere. Okay, one second. Okay, so now we will see how to write these instructions. Okay, so when you write instructions, okay, you always start with testing the uh, language. Okay, that means how it works. You check whether the program works or not. You understand how the output is displayed. Okay, you understand how to communicate with a computer. If that is the case, you start with a program called as Hello World. Okay, that is where we start. Okay, so we will see how to write this particular Hello World program. Okay, Siddharth and Kirtana, I would like to understand, do you have any hands-on this? Okay, have you written some Python programs already? Have you done that?
No, sir, I haven't.
Sir, I have done.
Okay, okay. So what is that you've done, Siddharth?
Sir, like simple programs I've done, but very weak at them.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Okay, okay.
we've,
So how do you
used
do it? Like,
loops and uh, like how do you do it means, sir? Like I'm not understanding your question.
okay, so where do you do it? Like, what tool you use? What technique do you use?
Sir, where means in like platform name idle. So an
Okay,
idle
ID. Okay, Python ID. Okay, fine.
uh, ideally, yes, sir.
Okay,
Sir,
it's not idle. It's IDE. IDE means Integrated Development Environment. Okay, so that means
sir, actually in our school system it's IDLE. So I just pronounced it as idle.
okay. So yes, so they may call it as IDLE, but typically that is IDE. Okay, Integrated Development Environment. Okay, I don't know what is the full form of IDLE. Okay, so L may have some, I don't know, like something.
Okay.
L may mean something, but it is
Uh,
usually integrated development environment, okay, where you go and develop these programs, you write instructions. Okay, so if you want to write Python programs, okay, either you do it from your system. Okay, all that you need is you need a system where you can install this. Okay, so you go and install this from the websites, like Python has its own website. From the Python website you can download the application file and you can install it within your system and you are ready to go. Okay, one is this. Second, you can do this in cloud. Okay, so cloud, in a sense, there are different players. Okay, you have Google, you have Amazon, you have different things. Okay, so you can go and write instructions using these platforms. Okay, so one such platform is called as Google Colab. Okay, so if you go to Google, okay, so let's say like we talk about the Python. Okay, you just type Python. Okay, you go to python.org. Here, if you click downloads, okay, so it says download the latest version of Windows. Okay, you click this download and it will install Python for you. Okay, so once it is installed, okay, in your Windows, just type Python. Okay, so you will have Python, which you can open from here. This is your local installation. Okay, so if you say open, it is going to open Python for you. Okay, so you will see the ideal interface, IDE interface. So I don't have Python. Okay, so I'm using the cloud version. So if you want to work on cloud, then what you do? Go to Google. Okay, so this is what I want you to use. Okay, so don't depend on the local setup because you don't have the facilities of the libraries. Okay, you'll have to install the libraries all by yourself. Okay, I'll come to the term library. Okay, I will tell you like what a library is. Okay, so Python needs a lot of libraries to work upon. Okay, so if you don't have libraries, then you have to install it. This Google Colab, okay, it comes with a lot of pre-built libraries. Maybe you don't have to install it. Even if you install it, it will just take a few minutes of your time and it's not that complicated. Okay, so just type Google Colab, okay, or Google Collaboratory. Okay, so you will land onto this particular website. Okay, so click on the first link. You will come to this particular interface. Okay, so it will say open notebook. So just click on new notebook. On your right hand side, you may not have any notebooks, or if you have notebooks, it will show you all the default notebooks. That means whatever notebook it has, it is going to show you all the notebooks. Okay, so what's a notebook? So in your uh, school, okay, so when you go to school, you write down something, right? So when the teacher teaches you something, you make notes or you take notes. So if you want to take notes, you will use a notebook. That is where you note down all the points, right? So in the same way, if you want to write something, okay, give instructions to the computer. So you'll have to do this from a notebook. So notebook is a place where you write all these instructions and make the machine work. So after you launch this Google Colab, click on new notebook. This is where you write your programs, okay, or you write instructions. Okay, so you will see this particular interface. Okay, so it says start coding or generate with AI. Okay, you start typing your code here. Okay, so I have already a notebook available with me. Okay, and I have different programs written here. Okay, so first program is print. Okay, so you have to print something. So that means when you give instruction, how that particular instructions work. Okay, that is what you want to understand. Okay, so what you will say. Okay, so you will say print. Okay, open the brackets, and within the brackets you will say hello Siddharth, something like that. Okay, and when you execute this, okay, so you can see this arrow mark, correct? So after you write this instruction, click on this. Okay, so it will show you the result. Okay, that means what you have done here, you have instructed the machine to print your name on the canvas, on this screen. Okay, so you want the machine to greet you. Okay, so if you want the machine to greet you, okay, you just give the instruction. Okay, you say hello Siddharth, good morning, something like this. Okay. It says hello Siddharth, good morning. Okay, so like this you can write customized messages. Okay, so you always start with hello world program. Okay, hello AI world. Okay, so if I want the machine to print AI world, hello AI world, this is the instruction that I give to the machine. Okay, and the machine acts based on my instruction, and it does the task that I want it to do. Okay, so this is your first program. So this program is essentially to check whether the program is working. When you write instructions, how does the instruction respond back? Okay, what is the response of the computer? If that is the objective, okay, go and write a simple print hello world program that shows you the result. You want to understand how the output is displayed on the screen. Okay, if that is the case, go and write this program. Start communicating with the computer. Okay, so you have a request, the computer responds back. Okay, so if you want to start communicating or establish that particular communication with the computer, now you're talking to a computer, you are giving it a lot of instructions. Okay, you're talking to the computer and the computer does all the tasks, or it responds to your queries. Okay, so if that is the case, you always start with this hello world program. Okay, so I have few more programs. Okay, before I go and do the data collection activity programmatically. Okay, so one way of doing the data collection is the manual way, right? So you have the Google survey form, okay, which you send across to different people and different people respond back. Okay, so you collect the manual way. Now you can also do the data collection, or you can create data sets here programmatically as well. Okay, so that is our next objective. Our main objective is to create an AI based system, okay, which will learn from all this information. Okay, so you'll have to do that activity first. Okay, so our objective is to get there. So before we get there, we will have to understand what Python is, so that we use it and do all the activities that is required to build an AI system. Okay, so I would like to stop here, and in tomorrow's class we will go in deep and we will understand something with respect to Python. Okay, we will see what libraries are, what variables are, what lists are, what is a dictionary, all these things. Okay, so we will do it tomorrow. And meanwhile, I want you to ask any questions. If you have any doubts, please get it clarified. Okay,
Yeah.
any doubt? Yes.
Sir, what is an IP address?
IP address. Okay, so okay, every house has a door address, correct? Okay,
Yeah.
so if I want to come to your house, then how do I come to your house? You will give me your address, correct? So you will say your door number, you will say your street number or street name, locality, pin code, all these things. Okay, so likewise, computers have not computers. Okay, so computers have something called as MAC address. Okay, okay, if you want to identify the computers present in the internet, okay, they use something called as IP address. So IP address in the sense like in the internet you are communicating, correct? So I am in my system. If I want to send something to you, okay, so I will send it through an email or a link or whatever it is, and it is reaching you, right? So I am establishing a connection between my system and your system. Okay, if I have to establish a communication between my system and your system, I can only talk or I can do it through internet. Okay, so if I use internet, I have this access to email. Through email, I can send you the file, or in Google Chat, I can put the file. It directly comes to you. Okay, only through internet I can send the file. Okay, so the internet has to identify my system. Okay, internet has to identify your system. If it identifies my system, it takes my uh, internet address. Okay, that means I have an internet service provider. Okay, let's say I'm using Airtel as a service provider. Okay, and you use Airtel as a service provider. Okay, so between my what do you say, like system and your system, there has to be a connection. Okay, so if that communication has to establish, like it has to have an address. Okay, so your system your system will get a request. Okay, so if I want some information, okay, I will ask you, I will ask my your system that this is the information I want. That means a request comes from my system. Sorry, yes, so I request you for some information and you have the response. If that communication needs to happen, right, so it has to have IP address. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay. Yeah.
just like your postal address, so these are addresses given to each and every system. Okay, to identify your systems over internet. Okay, so
Yeah. Okay.
that is the that is what is IP address, internet protocol address.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so any other questions?
No, sir.
Sir, is Python used in machine learning?
Yes, yes, yes. That's what we have been discussing, correct? So machine learning is exactly to train a machine, correct? So for
Yeah.
training, we have to give instructions, right? So this is how you train the machine. This is how you to learn. So if you have to instruct, this is how you have to learn. Then you use this Python to give the instructions, correct? Yes. Anything else?
No, sir.
So not yet.
Okay. So I will send you the activity for data collection. Okay. Please check your emails and maybe like you can take some time, like whenever you are free, do that data collection activity. And if you are planning to like go for an Google Forms survey, that is fine. You also send me the link, okay, as I sent you. Okay, so I think you know how to create a Google form right now, correct? So I don't know, like if you had if you have some experience creating Google forms. So if not, I have showed you like how to create a Google form, correct? So I
So
will show you once more like how to go about it. Okay. So all that you need to do is you type docs docs.google.com/forms. Okay. So if you have a Gmail ID, this will open. Okay. So if you don't have a Gmail ID, this interface will not open. So you need to have a Gmail ID. Okay. Using your Gmail, you will land onto this interface. You just need to click blank form. Okay. So I have a form already. Okay. So when you have a new form, you provide all the details. Okay. So after you provide all the details, okay, you will see something called publish here. You will have to click publish first. If you don't publish, you don't get a link which you can share to different people. Okay. So first publish this, and after you publish, okay, so you will see this, okay, where it will ask you if you want to share it to anyone in the internet. Okay, so you can change this setting also. Okay, that means let's say like you want to limit this. Okay, that mean that means like you don't want everybody to access this particular form with the URL. You are going to give access to only specified people. If that is the case, you can add their email ID here. Okay, if I want this form to access by just Siddharth and Kirtana, I can give their email ID here. I can add them. Only they will only be able to access this form. Except them, nobody will be able to access this form. That means I am restricting this form access. You can do that, but to do that, you'll have to publish this first. So once you publish this, you will be having a link, or you can generate a link here. Okay, so it says copy responder link. Okay, click on copy responder link. You will get the link here. Okay, so if you want to shorten this, you can shorten this. Okay, so your URL will now be shortened. This you can copy and you can send it across to different people. Okay, so this is how you have to share the Google form. Okay, if you want to do it in any other way, that is up to you. Okay, now I will let you know what exactly you have to do so that you go and collect data. Okay, so I will see, if you use this Google form, you will get the results in Google Sheets like this. Okay, so you can click on file and you can say download as .xls or PDF or HTML, whatever it is, or CSV file. Okay, so I would like to tell you that if you want to use this option, download it as Microsoft Excel file. Okay, so that means after you have all the responses, you download this and you send me this particular Excel file. Okay, so that is what I want you to do. Okay, so if you want to do it in any other way, that is also up to you. For example, if you want to send an email, okay, in the email you have list of fields like this. Okay, that means you have an Excel file already created like this, so in which you just have the header. Okay, and you want people to fill in all these details. Okay, yes, that is also fine. You send it across to different people, and people will download your Excel file. They will fill the Excel file and send it back to you. Ultimately, you have the responses from all the people. Okay, that means you have one single Excel file which you can send me across. That also works. Okay, so likewise, you decide how to go about data collection. Okay, I want you to collect data. Okay, instead of me giving the data and asking you to process, I will ask, I will let you collect the data and pre-process the data. Okay, so that is the activity. Any questions with respect to this?
no,
No, sir.
understood.
Okay, so no worries. Please do that. I will send you what to do. Okay, I will give you specific instructions, and you can work on that. So tomorrow we'll continue with Python. and I will complete something basic with respect to Python. Then we will go to next activity where we use the data collected and we clean, pre-process the data, and then build machine learning models. That means like train, test, evaluate all these things. Okay, we will do that in the next week.
Okay.
Okay, Siddharth and Kirtana, thanks for your time. We are
Thank,
meeting tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Take care.
thank you, sir. Yes.